Nobody asks, but we give you our opinions. Acknowledge us like Roman Reigns to all his minions. Coming from the grave like our name was Undertaker. Women's wrestling is cool, but where the hell is Britt Baker? Coherence takes abandon all hope. We talk shit like Ricochet from the top rope. We are marks, sometimes we're friendly. Sometimes we show our whole ass like Mandy. We are discussing what is the latest. Jericho is the GOAT, but Sid is our favorite. We are marks. We are marks.
What's going on, Marks? Welcome back to the podcast, the We Are Marks podcast. And why is that? Because we are Marks. I am your host. My name is Ram, Rob, and Bob. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, America?
How's everybody doing out there?
Before we get into wrestling, I had this realization. Listening back to the podcast from last week, I had this weird realization about my voice. And as you guys know, my father, mine and Rob's father, was a PA announcer specifically for Little League football, Pee Wee football. And his voice when he talks in real life and when he talks over the mic when he's doing the PA announcing was like two completely different things. And I'm realizing that when I have a microphone in front of my face, I do the same thing. And I listen to other podcasts. And it's very conversational. And I'm just like, I'm like a hype man when I'm delivering my statements. I guess trying to lead you guys into it, right? So I just had this realization that I am literally my father, and that it hurts a little bit.
You got
there's some signs.
Crisis going on there, buddy.
Love my dad.
There's some signs of professional-ism there. You have a professional.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I am 34 years old now, so my mom tried to make me 40. That was tough. All right, let's get into wrestling.
That's Rob's gimmick with every wrestler over 32. They're 40.
Yeah. Well, there it is. And every wrestler over 40 is 50. So
that's right.
All right, gentlemen. Let's get into some wrestling. Honestly, I mentioned it before we started recording, but not a great week to talk about because there's really not a lot to talk about, especially. You know, we're building to Elimination Chamber, but really we're just trying to hold off, put things on the back burner before we can really build to WrestleMania. So there's a lot of bullshit going on. Specifically, the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, in my opinion, they're just kind of taking up a lot of time. There's got to be an easier way to do this to get. I mean, listen, when we have Rhea Ripley facing Ivy Nile and Lyra Valkyria, we know who's going to win. Just put the match together. Just put your 6 best competitors together. They could be feuding with each other right now. They could be doing something. But instead, we're getting these qualifying matches, which are just taking up TV time for results we're expecting to happen. If you look at the people who have qualified so far, I don't think there was any question when you saw the triple threat match, who was going to win. Like maybe the Austin Theory Penta LA Knight match, maybe. But realistically, LA Knight's just a guy, just like Randy Orton, that you're going to put into the Elimination Chamber because they're not going to win. So here we go.
I will agree with you, but at the same time, now this is going to come out Friday morning, so it hasn't happened yet. That Friday night match is a very intriguing one.
Which one is
probably
that? Sammy and
Cody
Jacob
Rhodes and Jacob
Cody.
Fatu. I don't even know who the third guy is. Who's the third guy?
It's Sammy, Jacob, and Cody.
Sammy, yeah. So that's the only one that I'm sitting here being like, well, what are they going to do with that one? So for the most part, they're kind of pointless, but there's some intrigue with at least one of them.
Yeah, 1 out of 12.
I guess it depends on your definition of intrigue. I mean, some of the matches I wasn't 100% sold on who was winning. But to your point, I wish, and this always happens with these kind of situations that are set up, but I wish they could do a little bit more with some of these people, like a month or two before this is happening, so that it doesn't feel like some random person that hasn't done anything is all of a sudden getting an Elimination Chamber qualifying match to potentially get into the match that could main event a main event for WrestleMania. Like you talked about Lyra and Ivy Nile. Theory, I'm not sure if Theory has won a match. I watch the show every week. If you ask me if he won a match, I'm not sure since he's come back. And and
Not a
they're in this
singles.
position.
I
Yeah.
don't think he
So
has.
so that's a little bit frustrating. And if you can't find 3 people that have won matches in the last 2 months, then maybe don't make them triple threat matches and
So-
just have the people that have won some matches qualify
It-
for the chamber.
In Ivy Niles' defense, she is up for worst match of the year with Maxine Dupree. So she has been on TV. I don't think Lyra's won a
that's
match either.
and that's kind of the other aspect of it too, is I feel like there are people that are on this show and they're not involved in this, and that's kind of bizarre. I don't know if well, I guess not. She's not
No.
going to mix. She's been winning matches. I get why she's doing something else, but when you build these people up as an important part of the show, and then you have the potential main event of WrestleMania, it's kind of someone you might want to put in the match.
Is Raquel Rodriguez in any of these? Because I'm like going through people in my mind of who they can put in a triple threat match. That, you know, is Raquel Rodriguez in a qualifying match?
I'm not sure they've all been announced, but I mean, considering you got 6 times 3, 18 women, to not have her in a qualifying match seems absurd.
That's what I'm saying.
Considering I just had to watch Natty get announced to be in a match. I mean,
Yeah.
Natty is in a qualifying match.
yeah,
Next
week. Yep.
She'll
Well,
probably win too.
Hey,
Well-
you know what? At least she beat the hell out of Maxine, so they at least did something with Natty to get something going. I'm not a huge fan of Natty. I know you guys aren't either, but I'm just saying, at least there was some
No.
effort to.
No, and this is actually one of my bulletin points for the day. So let's just get right into it. I mean, this Natty character is probably the most cringe thing I've ever seen. Honest to God, it is Natty Neidhart, who we have seen for a long time playing tough guy, and it is so unbelievable. It is making. I mean, you just said she beat the shit out of Maxine Dupree. I mean, kind of awkwardly. Sure, she did. Sure. Very awkwardly. With the dumbest look on her face. It's not. I don't buy it, man. Come on with this Natty bullshit.
You know what my problem is? And I realized this when she had that dumb look on her face. This is exactly what Shayna Baszler should have been. It would have made more sense for Shayna Baszler. And her makeup, her demeanor, her smile, everything that she's doing is what Shayna Baszler should have been. Like, why couldn't we just let Shayna Baszler do this?
Yeah.
Because it's more believable from the UFC fighter who went through NXT, kicked everyone's ass, and did all that. Why is Natty doing this and we didn't let Shayna do it?
Yes, points.
Yeah.
Ding.
Yeah. No, I don't like in any wrestling when we have so much television, because AEW does this a lot. There's 5 hours of television, 6 hours of television WWE, and I'm supposed to understand this Natty character. I'm supposed to be locked into Twitter to know she's been doing it on the independents. Like, I get people can say, "Oh, she's been doing it. She's been doing it." Well, she's never done it on the show. The last time we saw her on the show, she was doing the cowboy hat, Natty Canadian, waving around, hugging people. And now I'm supposed to just buy into low-key legend Natty.
To your point, Bob, the only reference I have for this Natty character is when her and Maxine were working out before Maxine had the Intercontinental title match. That's the only reference that we have to this Natty character. Bloodsport, I've never seen it. I've never seen Bloodsport. I have no idea what it's about. I couldn't give 2 shits, if I'm being honest. And I don't know what this Natty bullshit is. It's on. I don't buy it in any way, shape, or form. Today, I mean, this past week, they announced her representing the Heart Dojo or Dungeon. And I was like, is this a team now? Do we have a team?
And that's the thing, too. It's not like Stu Hart taught martial arts or anything like that. They were just a wrestling school. Like, when did Natty learn how to do jujitsu and freaking Stu Hart's Dungeon? Like, when did this ever happen? I really wish they would let Shayna Baszler have her character.
Well, Shayna's
that's all there is to it.
And to tie into that, what is the connection with AJ and Maxine and Natty and Maxine? I don't understand.
I wanted to know that too. They're like, oh, it's she's helping her best friend Maxine. I'm like, the only reason she helped her in the first place is because she hated Becky that much.
I have
Like, they
no
weren't
frame of
friends.
reference for that either.
Like, she's coming out to help her best friend. I'm like, when did that happen?
And then, of course, after kicking Maxine's ass, whether it was a good job or a bad job, then AJ comes out and this supposed to be buying into this ass kicking Natty runs away
From a 50-year-old mom.
Dog mom. No.
R.I.P. Larry.
It's all very puzzling, this whole thing. If I'm being honest, I want to see Maxine beat Natty. That's what I want to see. I want to see Natty go away again. I'm already there with this Natty character.
Part of me thinks that we're building this up for AJ and Natty.
And after the Royal Rumble and all that, I actually thought that Natty was the one who's going to beat Becky Lynch. We might actually get a multi-woman match at WrestleMania where Natty walks away with that, what is it, the Intercontinental title? They might do that. And I mean,
part of me thinks, and this isn't like a high possibility, I'm not betting the house on it. Maybe they're getting Becky the hell out of this mess and moving her on to something else. Maybe she loses at the Chamber, and then it's AJ and Natty at WrestleMania, and maybe Becky pulls an edge, beats somebody up, and she faces Jade, because there's not really a clear who's going to face Jade either.
I can't imagine them not doing Becky versus AJ at WrestleMania.
Well, it's weird they're doing it.
It's at Elimination Chamber.
I agree. I don't know. Rumor and innuendo has said that this feud is going to continue until WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. I have this feeling we're going to add Natty into it.
Either we have a screwy finish and Becky cheats, or Natty gets involved to make it happen, or AJ wins, and in which case we run it back at WrestleMania. Either way, this is definitely a WrestleMania plan. Granted, I'll be honest, and we've been talking about this since AJ came back. It seems like she only is coming back periodically to continue this feud with Becky, setting up for WrestleMania. If that's the case, just do the match at WrestleMania. Don't do it at Elimination Chamber and then again at WrestleMania. Just do it at WrestleMania.
I did see that they're saying that the card's changing because there's a lot of empty tickets. I don't know how true that is, but I will say in the last 2 weeks, it does seem like things do seem like they're changing a bit, or more open to what's going to happen besides Roman and Punk. I think Roman,
I don't know how much I believe Uncle Dave on that one. Uncle Dave just likes to shit on Triple H as much as he can, so just throwing that out there.
Yeah. It does seem like things aren't as crystal clear where it's going, though.
But I'm okay with
previous year where I feel like
we always sit here and talk about, and like we've talked about it last year too around WrestleMania season, we had no idea what was going to happen, right? So we still don't have any idea what's going to happen.
Well, knowing what's going to happen, sure, but we knew for the most part the direction of the matches, I feel like. I don't feel as confident this year that I could correctly predict all the matches.
I do not view not knowing what's we're building to at WrestleMania right now in February. I don't view that as a good thing. I view that as a bad thing. I think it takes away from the day of WrestleMania. We lose the excitement. We'll be excited for Punk and Roman, of course. We'll be excited for Drew and Cody, maybe. But overall, if we're not clear on what we're getting excited for, we're gonna go into the show feeling like these are matches that were thrown together without storyline.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, the Elimination Chamber is next week, right? So we still have a month and a half.
2 weeks, I think.
2 months until, because it's in April. At the end of it. Yeah, so in 2 weeks. So we will still have a month and a half to get ready for WrestleMania after the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, that's true.
So they got plenty of time to get things going.
Fair point. Yeah, true that. Speaking of WrestleMania, I guess this is pretty big news. Maybe should have left the show. Braun Breaker is hurt. Allegedly, when he flipped that table a couple of weeks ago on Raw. He gave himself a hernia, and now he's getting surgery. And just based off of my own research, WWE told me indefinitely, but just based off of my own research, it looks like it could be anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks that would sideline Braun Breaker, which would, 8 weeks puts us at WrestleMania. That's the week before is 8 weeks from now. So it's interesting to see if we're going to have Braun Breaker. Obviously, this is somebody who theoretically was being positioned for a relatively big match on the show. I guess the fortunate thing, say he can make an earlier comeback than 8 weeks, is that we kind of already have a storyline built in for him with this masked man. And because we have the Vision group, we can keep that storyline going for a while. In the meantime, obviously this sucks. You guys have any more theories? Pun intended. Obviously, he attacked Theory, so it wasn't him, which I know was and Logan Paul chased him out, so it wasn't Logan Paul. So any theories, guys, on who this is? I actually have one, and this was based off of some mannerisms that I saw this week. But I'm curious what you guys think.
So I put on our social medias, I have 5 guys. 1 is Jake Paul. 2 is Shane Hagedorn, Adam Pearce's old man servant from Ring of Honor. 3 is John Moxley. 4, I actually forget the 4th one, but my number 1 pick is Omos.
My fucking God.
Just saying.
I could see it being a couple people. I mean, obviously, you look at the body size, it's being a couple people, but I could see actually that being the gimmick. The Adam Pearce thing is just weird. I'm not into it. I don't know if he's a babyface or a heel. He comes across as an asshole to everybody now. So I don't know if this is leading to something or if they're just booking him to kind of be an annoying character. Maybe it's Jake Paul makes sense, but I don't know what match that could lead to.
It's definitely not Jake Paul.
The other one was Max Dupree. Max Dupree is going to come back and help LA Knight defeat the Vision.
This guy is not. And obviously, just because it's wrestling, it's WWE, and they can reveal it to be someone who's not currently under that mask. And I guess the build of this guy doesn't really matter in the long run. But I mean, just based off of the way this
obvious,
just based off of the way this guy's built, based off of his mannerisms, his pasty skin, his relative unathleticness, because that stomp, he does not get very far off the ground. Makes me think it's Sami Zayn.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say Punk.
I thought we were going to say Chris Jericho.
No. Chris Jericho is shorter, he's stockier, he's pudgier. This is a relatively pasty white, lanky boy.
Yeah, but his beard's not red.
I haven't seen a beard.
Also, it'd be kind of hard to not show that beard underneath that mask.
Have you seen a beard?
Yeah, but even his beard is so big that if you try to put it under a mask, it's gonna
not
be
Sammy. It's not Sammy. Yeah.
Right.
I'm just characteristically. So I'm thinking somebody like that has to have in some way, shape, or form a connection to Seth Rollins.
Well, we eliminated, theoretically we should have, if this is going to make sense, we eliminated quite a few people on Monday.
Yeah.
Because Pierce was out there, wasn't he? So it can't be him. Logan Paul was out there, so it can't be him. LA Knight was out there, so it can't be him.
What if it's Vince McMahon?
It's got to be somebody in some way connected to Seth Rollins. It has to be.
Colt Cabana.
It's Ace Steel.
It'd be funny.
I didn't see any biting. I just saw the stomp.
So who's connected to Seth Rollins that we haven't talked about?
I don't know, but this has to be connected to Seth Rollins, right? It has to be.
I personally think it's Jake Paul.
It's not fucking Jake Paul.
I don't know. Another cool thing about this. This is so cool. We're at a stage of wrestling that you can sit here and bitch about it all you want. I have no idea what's going on.
I'm going to say 0% chance it's Jake Paul.
I don't. Shane Haggerty. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. Well, you know what? I guess we're going to see. I don't know. I have no thoughts, but interesting point Bob brought up was the GM situation. It's very interesting because both of the GMs on these shows are more prevalent, more on screen than I've ever seen a GM before. I have never seen GMs this prominently showcased on weekly programming. And it's every week because they are, anytime someone's backstage, the GMs are there for some reason. It definitely seems as though Adam Pearce is being portrayed as a fucking goof who is terrible at his job, and nobody likes him. Nobody likes him. No one respects him. Whereas Nick Aldis is being portrayed as a highly respected man, highly respected by everybody. And he takes no shit. He will shut you the fuck down real quick, and that's the end of it. I do find it interesting that Nick Aldis can kick somebody out for the night, and they leave for the night. Adam Pearce kicks someone out for the night, and they're getting involved, baby. They are getting involved. It seems like the inmates are running the asylum on Monday Night Raw. And on SmackDown, it's very business-like and professional. I find it interesting because Monday Night Raw continues to be a better show than SmackDown overall. So perhaps Adam Pearce is doing a better job than Nick Aldis. It's a more compelling show. Let's see the ratings. I think Adam Pearce is the better GM.
I can't. That's a bridge too far.
Okay. In wrestling world, Adam Pearce is the more entertaining GM. You know, I think Nick Aldis is going to have a match. Maybe it's not going to be at WrestleMania, but I could see Nick Aldis having a match at Backlash or something like that. You know, Nick Aldis versus Gunther or some shit like that. I could see that happening. But as far as like, if Adam Pearce was my plant manager, he'd be fired. You know?
Rob's got such a soft spot for Adam Pearce.
He loves him. Scrappy P. Swaggy P or whatever you call
No,
it.
I agree. As a viewer, I respect Nick Aldis. I'd shake the man's hand. Adam Pearce, I have no respect for that man. He's a mess. And you see it on the show. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if this is like a heel turn. You know, I said a week or two ago, maybe him and Heyman are actually together screwing Braun Breaker, but I'm not sure. And then he's screwing Finn Balor. Finn Balor wants the World Heavyweight Championship match. CM Punk wants the World Heavyweight Championship match. The crowd wants it. And then he's coming out and saying we can't jeopardize WrestleMania.
Yeah. Two guys in wrestling that I just feel real bad for. And maybe I shouldn't because they are getting put into a position, albeit it's very clearly a filler position. Finn Balor and Brody King, because they are in the exact same position. And we'll talk about Brody King later. But Finn Balor is essentially just fill a gap for us so that we can build to WrestleMania and Roman can come back on TV. Just fill a gap for us. And he was made an afterthought. The only one who doesn't have Finn Balor as an afterthought right now is Finn Balor. He's the only one. Everybody else is just, it's Roman and Punk. We're excited for Roman and Punk. Go ahead.
So I will say this. Before the whole, we're all better than everyone else on the roster, CM Punk did come out and say that he was not done with Finn Balor. So I will give CM Punk some credit for this. I'm really on the WWE bandwagon today. I just realized that. I'm just, but yeah, so I mean, Finn Balor's in the Kevin Owens role. What else do you want? We need to fill some time before WrestleMania.
Sami Zayn was just in the Kevin Owens role.
Well, you have 2 titles, so you need 2 Kevin Owens roles. Finn Balor takes the Raw spot. Sami Zayn's probably. I bet you Sami Zayn goes after Drew McIntyre one more time at the Elimination Chamber.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Finn Balor's in the Drew McIntyre spot.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens are kind of in the same spot.
Not
Not
even
anymore.
sold. I'm not even sold. Drew's completely out of the Drew McIntyre spot, but we'll see. We'll see how the next couple weeks go. But I am not sold that he's out of it. But yeah, to Rob's point, I think Punk's done a very good job. I think, as far as current world champions, Punk's right there at the top of the list. He understands how to be the world champion, and he does a great job making you care about things. But yeah, this whole situation's really done a number on Finn. I think it was supposed to help him, but it feels like we're kind of equal to worse because he feels like such an afterthought in this situation. I get they kind of needed a placeholder, but I don't totally understand, other than trying to build some hype for WrestleMania, which we just talked about being 2.5 months away, why you needed to have that Roman Punk promo last week when you could have just had it after the Elimination Chamber. I feel like that was kind of shooting yourself in the foot when it just wasn't necessary.
Yeah. I mean, after that, that Roman Reigns and CM Punk are headlining WrestleMania. I don't understand why we're having this match at the Elimination. I will never complain about Finn Balor getting a title shot, but there's no chance in hell he's winning. There's no chance in hell they're going to make him look strong in this. There's no chance in hell in any of that. So why are we doing it?
I remember a time. I'm gonna give you guys a throwback here really quick. But I remember a time. Do you guys remember Darren Young? He goes by a different name. He's in New Japan now and is actually doing pretty well for himself. But Darren Young, I remember them building him up. And they built him up. They made him look good. And then they put him in a U.S. championship match on pay-per-view, which he lost. And then he was released from the company a week later. The Intercontinental Championship match on that exact same show, I forget who was in it, but it was the same situation where that person lost the U.S. title match and then was released a week or two later. It just feels like that's what's happening to Finn Balor, which is not a great place to be, obviously. And after he loses this match to Punk, how does he come back from this? There's no outlet. There's no way back from this other than getting back into a tag team with JD McDonough whenever the hell he comes back.
So the simplest way is just him and Dominic Mysterio having a feud for the IC title. That's the easiest way to do that. I mean, granted, that's not where we want Finn Balor to be. I mean, we said in the beginning of this year, we want the rise of the Prince. We want Prince Balor, and we thought we were going to get it, and they shot it down so quick.
I would take that. If you're giving me Finn Balor as Intercontinental Champion, that's great. That sounds fantastic. I don't need him to be the world champion. I just need to see him fucking wrestle like Finn Balor can wrestle and not be a goof.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And if he's the IC title holder, then he's on TV and he's wrestling. I thought that was going to be, and maybe that was before Dominic Mysterio got hurt. And we're just killing time for Finn Balor as well. I don't know.
Well, Dom's
assuming
back
from
because
the back,
he has a qualifier match next week too.
Yeah, I'm assuming from the backstage segment that's where they're going. Which it's fine. I'm not quite as bullish on it as you guys are, but yeah, I mean, Dom and Finn at WrestleMania for the IC title. Hopefully Finn wins, and
yeah, I just
we
don't
can have
know.
those matches.
Is that like a babyface turn for Finn Balor? Because I don't think Dominic Mysterio is the way to go about it.
Well, the funny thing, I wouldn't turn Dom, but the funny thing about this is Finn does that sort of return a couple weeks ago against Punk, and everything that's happening to him in the meantime, to me, has made him a bigger sympathetic character, babyface wise. The guy is legitimately getting fucked at every turn. He can't get into the Royal Rumble. He can't apparently have his title match until Punk begs for it.
They want to make him they would try to make him a heel by interfering in that match, But at the same time, when Adam Pearce screwed him over, everyone's like, well, that's shit, especially since Gunther was number 30. Like, your excuse was he already had a match, he doesn't get a shot, and here comes Gunther. Like,
Gunther's number 30, and I had to see
No.
seven guys from AAA in there.
His excuse wasn't he already had a match. His excuse was the Royal Rumble was full. That was his excuse.
well, why was Gunther double booked? He got double pay that night? That's bullshit.
Well, because he had declared. He declared for the Royal Rumble.
I declared for the Royal Rumble too. I didn't get in.
Well, they must have missed it. They must have missed it. Got a few more things from WWE before we get to AEW. Namely, the Usos are WWE World Tag Team Champions. I find this very interesting because I have exclaimed numerous times that this is the greatest tag team of all time. This is the best tag team on planet Earth. It's the Usos. There's that FTR. That is my take. It's always been my take. Couldn't wait for the Usos to get back together. Something happened, though. I don't know if it was the amount of time these two were working as singles, specifically Jay, but I just, they seem off. They seem distant. They don't seem as the cohesive unit Michael Cole was trying to sell them to be. Wasn't a well-oiled machine. I thought they looked clunky as all hell. If I'm honest, Rob said in a text, and I fully agree. Granted, I'm a huge Akira Tozawa fan, but he was the best wrestler in that tag team match. He was the best one. Was Akira Tozawa. I'm actually watching this match going, God damn, I want Akira Tozawa to answer the U.S. Open Challenge and win that shit. That's what I want to see. Put something on Akira Tozawa. My feelings were not. And why are the Usos still coming? I mean, maybe this is leading to that WrestleMania match we don't want, but why are they still coming out to Jay's "It's Just Me" Us song? And Jimmy's just cool. Jimmy's like, it's all good, bro. Go qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Win that. Go to WrestleMania. Challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm cool. What's happening?
And that's the thing. Ram, I love you. I do. You're my brother. All that. I'm not going to sit there and be like, yeah, go win the world title when I can sit there and say, I want to win the world title. It's nothing personal. It's just the way it is.
But not only that, they're the tag team champions. If I'm Jimmy, at the very least, what I want to do at WrestleMania is defend these tag team championships.
Right,
not
like,
watch you face someone for the world title.
I don't know. The only thing I could think of is there's two nights they can double book. I mean, it's not the first time they've done that. The match was bad. Like, Otis is never a good wrestler. He's fun to watch, but he was never a good wrestler. Jey Uso's just terrible. He is. He misses his cues. He's not crisp in the ring. He's just bad. And like, I feel like it's getting worse. Like, you figured he'd get better by now, right?
I think that the way he works, the way he wrestles completely changed when after specifically, I mean, he was never great as a singles. We've all exclaimed that many times, but something happened after he won the Royal Rumble where it's like the way he wrestles is almost like when The Rock would do his things in the ring that got the crowd into it. And like he could be a less than A+ wrestler and have a great entertaining match because he was The Rock. And it almost seems like Jimmy feels like, or maybe somebody's telling him that he has the same kind of aura and the same kind of vibe. And he's doing things like that little arm thing he does before he does the uppercut that I just find like, I mean, it's silly. It's not getting the crowd into it. It's not helping him get over. It's not making the match more entertaining. It's making him a tick behind the guy he's working with. And when you're working with Otis, who operates a step behind, to be a step behind Otis is mind-boggling.
But that's the thing. In 2026, does that work anymore? Does The Rock get away with that in 2026?
Oh, I mean, The Rock, yeah. The Rock would. If The Rock was an active wrestler and just trying that shit now, then probably not.
That's what I'm saying.
But if The Rock comes back, yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, our nostalgia will be like, he did the spit and the slap, But if he started out now doing that, absolutely not. We'd eviscerate him. The IWC would tear him apart.
I'd be like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, but there's also like, The Rock doesn't screw up his stuff, like the main stuff.
Yeah.
If you watch The Rock, he's the spine buster leading to the people's elbow. He's not screwing up the people's elbow. He's not screwing up the rock bottom. When you watch Jay and Michael Cole's struggling to realize he's confused if it's a spear or a shoulder tackle because he just kind of like bumps shoulders with the guy and he's calling it a spear. It's a level of terrible that's not gonna work.
And that's the thing. Like, it's a spear the fucker. Like, it's borderline laziness with Jay Uso,
And I thought,
that's what I feel like it is.
And Ram brought up the promo afterwards. I don't understand what the point of that was.
It's an 80% effort.
Right.
Yeah.
It's laziness.
I didn't understand the point of the promo when it's not something that people are clamoring for. Like, let's just pretend that Chad Gable and Javon Evans were the tag team champions, and Chad Gable said to Javon Evans, who everyone's behind right now,
man,
go win the Elimination Chamber. Everyone's going nuts. He's doing it to Jay, and everyone's kind of just like, no, man, we don't want to see that.
We did this already. It wasn't
I would love to see Chad Gable, though. I miss him.
I hope he's getting healthy. I really do.
Yeah, once Tozawa started doing those suicide dives, and he did the senton, I said, fuck it. Don't kick out. Let those guys be the tag team.
Akira Tozawa, and I will always give the man flowers. He's so good. He really is. He saved the match. He did.
Absolutely. And Akira Tozawa, also one of the most incredible body transformations you'll ever see. I mean, if you haven't seen Akira Tozawa from back in the day, you would not even believe it was the same person.
Right.
So an inspiration. That all the more reason to give this guy a little bit of a run. He doesn't need to be Intercontinental Champion for 6 months. He can shock somebody and win it for a week. It would be such a great moment. The man is an inspiration, and I don't think WWE has given him enough of a spotlight because he is incredible.
Yeah.
One more thing from WWE. If I missed anything, let me know. But this is my last point from WWE. Since we've talked about Chad Gable, I would like to talk about the man with the second best German suplex in all of WWE, the original El Grande Americano, who is currently feuding with the current El Grande Americano, seemingly. And I would actually be extremely excited to see these two face each other at WrestleMania for the mask. I need one of these two to lose their mask at WrestleMania. It's got to happen. I'm very excited about it. So, even though we know who both of them are, both of them are. It would still be incredible.
I'm still waiting for the mask versus hair match between Dirty Dom and Rey Mysterio, but
keep waiting.
I will love a mask versus mask match between two guys pretending to be luchadors. This is stupid. This is dumb. This makes absolutely no sense, and I want to see it every week.
That's where I'm at so much.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
I'm not huge into the Americanos, but I will say I guess it's working in AAA for Kaiser, so I would just have Kaiser win. I'd rather see Chad Gable as Chad Gable and let Kaiser. I think when Kaiser's wrestling now as Americano, people seem to care more than if Kaiser was wrestling. So let him continue to do the goofy thing and let Chad Gable, go on a run. I thought a couple of years ago when he was trying to win the Intercontinental Championship from Gunther, that was good stuff. You can kind of go back in that direction.
So, and I'm going to say this to Bob's point. Before these two were doing this, couldn't even get on TV. Like, honestly, this stupid nonsense that we see every week gave these guys something to do. And without Chad Gable getting hurt, Ludwig Kaiser is probably released.
Well, and they're both incrall. They're both so talented.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
Like, watching these two in a singles match would be so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. That's all I got from WWE. We'll see where these storylines go. leading up to the Elimination Chamber. Let's talk about some AEW stuff. And you guys know where I'm going to start off my AEW talk. It's with Takeshita, of course, because that has been the main topic of my AEW frustration over the last several weeks. We're talking about a month and a half, just about now, of Takeshita just rolling with the Don Callis family. And it's very interesting because they had this trios match, and we know this, it's setting up this week. We'll predict it. Mox and Takeshita for the Continental Championship. Takeshita is already over as a babyface. Like, it's no question. Takeshita's already over as a babyface. I just don't understand why he's still rolling with Don Callis. I don't understand. Is there a contract situation I need to know about where if he chooses to leave the Don Callis family, he's going to lose a limb, like the Yakuza is going to come after him? Somebody needs to explain this to me, because as much as I love him and as much as over he is right now as a babyface, he continues to be just rolling with Don Callis, who screwed him over multiple times now, treats him like second fiddle to Okada, and he's still just rolling with this guy like it's all good. And I don't understand it. He hates Okada, and we get that. But Don Callis and Okada are linked at the hip. They are the same person to me. I don't understand why he's still just rolling with Don Callis.
So,
and where's Okada?
He's probably back in Japan.
It's just on Collision.
Do you know how Kairi Sane still sits there with Asuka because she brought her over and she's like the grandmother? That's the only thing I could think of. Either that or he's just biding his time and he's playing the long game, and until he's waiting for the right opportunity to screw them all over. I don't know.
It's funny. It's funny. Before we started taping today, because I've really enjoyed the last couple weeks of Dynamite, I thought Ram is either going to start this AEW talk with Takeshita or Darby Allin.
Darby Allin's next. Darby Allin's next.
Takeshita. I do think I'm not at all really loving this story. I do feel like we're getting to the point. There's a reason for that is going to probably be on another topic, but I do think we're slowly but surely getting somewhere with where this is potentially going.
It better hurry up.
Well, are they going to unify the Continental and whatever title Okada has? What's the title he has right now? What's it called?
The International.
Yeah,
They did that already. They just split it up.
Okay. I don't think he's going to beat Moxley. I do think, and then potentially this weekend, that the blow up could happen. It could start tonight, because tonight is Fletcher. We're taping on Wednesday. Fletcher and Ciampa. So
yeah.
We could start seeing the ripple effects.
Yeah, I guess
so. Could blow up.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Well, Bob buried the lead. Darby Allin, man. I made the mistake of watching this while my wife was in the living room. And she was like, "What is up with this guy?" When he was in the hallway. What's up with this guy? And then he just got kidnapped. And she laughed. Like I might not have ever heard her laugh the way that she laughed at this segment of AEW. He got kidnapped and thrown into the back of a trunk and then taken out to the desert and beaten or whatever. Help me get behind this, gentlemen. Help me get behind this. And I know there was a point in time where, Bob, you really wanted Darby Allin. You wanted Darby Allin to be world champion or some shit.
I think that's been blown out of proportion.
That has come out of your mouth.
Bob, your exact words.
Wanted Darby Allin. You said Darby Allin's going to be world champion one day.
Okay. I didn't necessarily say I wanted or needed Darby Allin.
I'm gonna find the clip and we're gonna do this.
Okay, so
I think for me, I need to hear the clip.
So my first question, I have a question about this. Is this was like the grizzled young veteran Mark Davis. All right. Anyway,
I think
why?
you're confusing crazy white guys right now.
Yeah, probably. But why did they do this?
Because Darby Allin likes to put people in body bags.
Who
So
is Darby?
Gabe Kidd
Gabe
Kidd threw Darby Allin through a
So-
flaming table.
So this is a Death Riders thing still.
I believe so. I believe because we are 2 weeks away from Pac and Darby Allin. Yeah, no, it's all about the Death Riders. That's exactly what it is.
So they kidnapped him and they took him out to the desert and they beat him up.
And they left him there.
And then they
kept
left
him.
him. And then they left
For
him
all
there.
we know, he's still in the bag.
He's probably still in the bag. This is
I did love Shivani, or maybe it was Excalibur. That he just saw this guy in this body bag in the middle of the desert. The car's gone. We don't know where he's at. And then whichever announcer just goes, well, hopefully we have an update on that later on.
I guess I just don't really understand like how would this is first of all it's so similar to all the other shit I've seen Darby Allin do, but it is the hokiest, corniest bullshit. I feel like a backstage beatdown where Darby's getting thrown into all the random metal shit that's back there would have had way more impact than what we saw. This corny segment where he got thrown into the back of a trunk, taken out to the desert, beaten, and left there.
It's the Looney Tunes. It's the Coyote. And that's the problem.
Yes,
that's the problem with Darby.
Nailed it.
You watch him get killed every single week, and I don't care anymore.
First off, I'm not a fan of Darby Allin. I will never be a fan of Darby Allin. Darby Allin has been doing the same shit even before Gabe Kidd. He's been chloroforming people and putting them in body bags and dragging them away in a truck. This has been going on for 6 months now at the least. I can't stand it. I cannot stand this guy. The only good thing that ever happened with Darby Allin is with Sting. And guess what? The only memories we really have of Darby Allin is when Sting came back to help him beat Jon Moxley and when he was in Sting's tag team. That's it. Do you remember when he was the TNT champion? I sure as hell don't.
I know that this is relatively actually who Darby Allin is as a human being, and I get that. But the emo boy shtick, it just doesn't play. It does not play. Not at this point. If he was a backyard wrestler in my hometown, I'd go check him out on a Saturday afternoon. But to be on national television and portraying this emo boy character, it just doesn't play, man.
You're absolutely right. If he was doing death matches and stuff like that, and these body bags and things like that, yeah. But he's not. This is a full-length story.
And I thought it was worse too, is because I do feel like there's a lot of the show. Watching it last week, I thought so much of the show was good. All these guys compete in these matches to get to the title. And then that segment in the middle was like, it just felt so goofy when you're watching the rest of the show and it feels like a real sport. And then you have this over the top potential murder in the middle of this program.
There's just constant attempted murder happening with Darby Allin in AEW. It's just a constant, never-ending cycle of attempted murder.
I bet you tonight he's going to chloroform somebody, put him in a body bag, and set the body bag on fire. That's what's going to happen tonight.
There's actually going to be a tractor is going to come in and dump a bunch of sand into the middle of the ring, and Darby's going to pop out of it.
I actually believe that WWE trademarked tractors for wrestling purposes. So I don't think they're allowed to use those.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, guys. We're going to predict some stuff which will tie into some of the other storylines that are happening. But the last thing I need to mention before we start doing these predictions is Boss Man Hook. Hook proclaimed himself the boss of the ops. Nothing, absolutely nothing could be less intimidating than the theoretical leader of the ops going from Samoa Joe to Hook. Go ahead, Rob. This is for you.
When I heard him say that, I said out loud, thank God Powerhouse Hobbs left. Like, that's all I could think about. My God. He's like, I'm the leader now. And I'm like, you're a fucking twerp. You are a joke and a half. I'm waiting for here's what I think is gonna happen. I'm waiting for him not to get the heat that he's supposed to get, and Taz just steps up and becomes the leader for a little bit. That's what I think might actually happen. Which might be better.
Well, that would be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
it is, but sometimes with these groups, it's just honestly better to put them all on the shelf, I feel like.
And
yeah.
I mean,
the thing. Who's left
when
now?
you have a group and there's no leader, you've seen the same problem with the Vision, where it hasn't been the same without Rollins. This group is not the same. When you have a leader that shouldn't be the leader, it just becomes mid-card. And not that was even that much of a main event team, but it just drops it down so much. And,
But who's left? It's Hook and Shibata and the Dojo kids that
I'd be
look more menacing than Hook ever will.
I'd be much more afraid of Shibata than Hook.
Right. I'd be much more afraid of the Dojo kids than freaking Hook. What's Hook going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, one more quick point, Bob. I wanted to just let you know that there was 2 eliminator matches on AEW Dynamite, and the challenger won both. I know you used to always say no one ever wins those matches, so I just wanted to point out that 2-0 in eliminator matches this week. So that's interesting. And that's going to go into our prediction, so feel free to talk about it then. All right, first thing, it's happening tonight, but I thought it was worth. Is anyone watching Dynamite right now?
No.
Okay. Tommaso Ciampa defending the TNT Championship against Kyle Fletcher. Who you guys got?
Ciampa.
Man, this one kind of sucks. I'm going to say Ciampa with some screwiness with Fletcher.
Yeah, I think Ciampa wins, and I think it'll be a distraction, an unintentional, distraction that leads to Kyle Fletcher losing.
I could see this match being done again on Saturday, since Fletcher is from Australia, but I don't think he's winning tonight.
No. All right, we're all going Ciampa. That's fine. Okay, we're talking about Grand Slam Australia now. I only see 5 matches on the card. Let me know if I'm missing anything. But as of right now, 5 matches on the card. Starting out with something very interesting. It's a mixed tag match, which I watched a mixed tag local talent lose this past week. That's probably the first time I've ever seen a mixed tag jobber squad out there. That was very interesting. Nevertheless, Orange Cassidy, Tony Storm, taking on Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta. The loser, he or she who takes the fall, must shave their head, is the stipulation of this match, which leads me to believe Wheeler Yuta is going to be bald.
Yeah.
Although I could see Tony Storm doing it.
I really wish Tony Storm would get back to actually wrestling. But
I can't see Storm or Cassidy losing.
Yeah.
The hell would you call Orange Cassidy if he didn't have his orange hair?
Does he have orange hair?
Red.
I think
it's more
blonde.
Like strawberry blonde.
All right. Kill my joke.
I only saw him as blonde. But
Yuta makes the most sense.
You call him the Citrus Man. I could see Marina Shafir getting it too, but Wheeler,
I could see Marina Shafir doing it. Yeah.
And considering I've never seen Wheeler Yuta in anything but this long ass hair and the beard, I have no idea what this man would look like with no damn hair.
I'm assuming
thing
he'd look
with-
like Spike Dudley when he shaved his head.
The thing with shaving someone's head is you really have to have somebody that's got the personality, because you can do some fun stuff with it after the match. I do think Yuta's got the personality, especially from the heel side. Like, they can do the Kurt Angle fake hair thing, or Vince wearing a hat all the time.
So-
I'm not sure if Marina's fit for that type of
Now that
story.
now that you brought up the personality thing, does everyone else in the Death Riders have a bald head?
No, does Pac?
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
doesn't.
Pac does
That's
not.
true.
That's right. He
Good
looks
point.
like Frodo. That's right.
Good point. That would have been
Alright.
funny, though. That would have been funny.
I did
could
love
see
Mox on Collision when Shafir turns to him and he just pointed to his head.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So who do you guys have winning this?
Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy.
And
Orange,
Yuta,
yeah.
Yuta
Yeah.
loses his hair.
Yeah, we'll give both. Well, yeah, I think everyone's taking that too.
Okay, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Yuta to lose his hair. He's the only one in this match that really makes sense to just get pinned and lose his hair. So
Yeah.
that's what we're going with. Hangman Adam Page versus Andrade. This will be a number 1 contenders match. And this is kind of why I said the thing about Brody King and Finn Balor being in the exact same boat, because this is already being talked about as winner faces MJF for the world title. But we have a world title match on this show. Nevertheless, who do you guys got winning this match and becoming the number 1 contender?
Rob, you can go first. If
Oh,
want. I think it has to be Andrade. I think Andrade's red hot. I think the gimmick's getting over. People are into it. His matches are good. It's something fresh and different on the show. I also think the one little nugget that I was going to say about the Don Callis family leading it to this, I think it's an interesting dynamic that's going on in this group. Maybe they won't touch on it, but that Fletcher, Okada, Takeshita are all infighting as Andrade keeps working up the ladder. If that continues to create an issue with the group, that they look and realize Andrade's 1 win away potentially of becoming the AEW champion. And I think it's a good match. I think you should keep rolling with the hot hand. And hell, in 2 months, maybe I'm sitting here saying Andrade should win if this can keep going. But, we've seen Hangman. He's not as hot as he was a year ago. He's not as hot as he was 6 months ago. I think it is time to roll the dice with Andrade and try to make him a main eventer.
Everything that Bob said. I don't know if it's going to make him a main eventer, but he has the hot hand. Everybody loves him right now. He's getting plans to get their numbers. I mean, pretty soon someone's going to file a complaint about him because he's just that sexy. I would make Andrade. Hangman could take a loss and still come right back. If Andrade's going to be the guy at Revolution, so be it. Let's have Andrade win this.
He did come back insanely ripped.
Yeah.
So just lean and ripped and just dripping and hot and all the things those OnlyFans models were supposed to say, and not that this shit is all fake. We saw you, lady. Okay, we saw you. But no, I mean Andrade should win. Would it be his first AEW title shot? Like
he was the
including
TNT.
He
was the
run?
TNT champion as far
That's
as the world
not
title.
what the fuck I'm talking about.
The world heavyweight, yeah, because he
Yeah.
never got off a Collision the last time.
Okay,
he was
so if
here.
it's first one, he can absolutely go and lose. I was just kind of feeling like at this point, if he wins, if he's the one to face MJF, I don't know. I kind of want Andrade to win, if I'm being honest. So I also kind of felt like, Andrade could lose this match. Like maybe we just fuck the whole Don Callis family up, and maybe he somehow Don Callis slips up and costs Andrade just so that MJF can win by cheating, because you can't out cheat the Don Callis family. So there's no way MJF can beat Andrade by cheating, which means MJF would have to beat Andrade clean. And just based off of how hot Andrade is right now, I think that's tough. That's a tough thing to do.
I Bob just brought this up, and I kind of enjoy it that Don Callis starts getting behind Andrade more and more because Okada's not there, and Okada screws Andrade out of the title, and it just adds more fight into the Don Callis family. I wouldn't mind that. That'd be kind of fun.
Sure. Why not? Anyway, I think we're all taking Andrade, yes?
Yep.
Yeah. I just worry with this match with Andrade losing is, I think this thing is going so well right now. And I just worry that if he loses this match to Hangman, we're not going to be as invested going forward. And it's going to be like, okay, Andrade had a couple good weeks, but he's the mid-carder that we felt like he was. And
there's also a chance that WWE says, hey, we said no compete clause. What the fuck are you doing? So
I think they would have done that already. Oh, they wait until
they're just waiting. They're waiting for his number one contender.
He wins the world title. They're like,
lawyer
hey,
shows up, cease and desist.
The day after Revolution.
Oh, that's too funny. John Moxley, Konosuke Takeshita for the Continental Championship.
I'm going to continue let's build up the Don Callis family so everyone just starts fighting with each other. I'm going to go with Takeshita. Why not? Screw it.
Well, Rob did get that idea in my head or maybe it was Ram, that maybe these guys are going to fight to bring back
and make it unified again?
to unify the titles. But I don't know. I'm in the Moxley. The way that they're handling the Takeshita Okada thing right now, I'm not as interested in Takeshita winning. I think Moxley should hold on to the title. He's been really good lately.
I'm gonna say this: Moxley does not need that title.
The title might need John Moxley though.
Maybe. I don't know. I think there's too many titles to begin with, so
I kind of did the same thing with the Andrade pick, although we all picked that, but I'm picking as a fan. I'd rather see John Moxley continue to be the Continental Champion.
I think Takeshita should win. I'm taking Takeshita. I just mentioned it. And Bob, you just said a very similar thing about Andrade. I mean, you strike while the iron's hot. And I get that John Moxley somehow got over as a babyface in like 30 seconds. I don't really know how still. I'm still a little confused about the whole thing. But Takeshita has been building up, and the people absolutely love him. And you want to strike while the iron's hot. And I think the best case scenario would be to unify the titles, not unify them in a way that you can lose one and not the other, but combine them into one championship, because there's too many goddamn championships. We don't need that many goddamn championships. And it makes the match bigger than it already should be. Although at this point, I'm kind of starting to lose interest in the whole thing because I haven't seen Okada and Takeshita do anything in a long time, other than Okada's music hit and they held back Takeshita. That's about it. That's all I've seen. So, we got to do something here.
Do you know what the weird thing is about John Moxley? They cheer him, yet the rest of the Death Riders get booed.
Yeah.
It is a weird thing that's going on with the Death Riders right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit going on in AEW just constantly. But you're telling me that they had better stories. It's just
Stop. I said their stories were better. I didn't say they had better stories. I said their stories were better.
I feel like Joe Pesci in Home Alone. I'm just like, Frizza. It's just like,
we need to turn the page on 2025. I will say, over the last month with this world title story, I think AEW has, if you ask me right now, promotion of the year, I'm picking AEW right now.
Bob. Okay, Bob.
Oh,
What world
I
title
wouldn't go that
story?
far. Yeah, there is no world title story.
What world title
What are
story?
you talking about? All these 6 guys that are wrestling in meaningful matches every week. I am enjoying that. I'm enjoying this
So
build to Revolution.
essentially a tournament you just watched happen.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
the
enjoying
story?
it. They're putting meaningful matches on TV and not just exhibitions to have really good matches.
The
The Brody King Andrade.
Bob,
I'm
I'm gonna
enjoying
call bullshit on that because 2 weeks ago we just sat here and said Swerve Strickland and Kevin Knight headlined a Dynamite that had no purpose whatsoever.
Yeah, and over the last 2 weeks, the Brody King stuff, the Andrade stuff, I think has been a lot better.
I'm just happy that somebody won an eliminator match.
I don't see it. I don't see it that way. I feel like the Brody King thing feels like a stopgap, just like the Finn Balor thing. I don't view that as I don't even view it as a story really, because I haven't seen Brody King win singles matches until last week. I mean, MJF said that he hasn't won any singles matches, and that's very true. I thought the story was Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega lost. I thought the story was Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland lost. And now it seems like the story is Andrade. But MJF and Andrade have had 0 interactions, really. I mean, a passerby, maybe. So it's not a story. We saw a tournament happen, and we're crowning a number 1 contender. That's not a story to me. That's not something that's compelling. We are literally just getting good matches. That's what you just told me, that we're not just getting good matches on television, but that's literally what happened. We literally just got good matches to lead to someone being the number 1 contender.
But that's the story.
And again, Bob, to your point, I mean, Brody King's not even a story. Adam Hangman Page is the reason Brody King won that match.
Well, that was not really a match, but the story is that these guys wrestling for the title and having him in the mix. I think this Grand Slam is an exciting big show. I think it's
and it is, and I'm gonna watch Collision for the first. Well, actually, I've been watching it for the last 3 weeks, but I'm excited to watch Collision. But I'm excited to watch Collision to see where the story happens, because guess what? There's still no story.
Well, yeah, I don't see a story, but that's just me. And again, maybe I'm hypercritical of AEW not telling me a story and just putting on good matches. Maybe I'm being hypercritical. I don't know, but I don't see a story. I don't see a story really anywhere. I don't really see any stories right now other than Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm. They're kind of doing some kind of a story, but it's not a good one.
I mean, Darby Allin's telling a story, Ram.
That's not a fucking story either, man. That's a fucking kidnapping. Dude got adult kidnapped, whatever you call that.
Abduction?
Well, Christian and Cope are probably back right now, so.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's going to put butts in seats. Okay. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know how much you love them, Bob. It's okay. Let's get back to Grand Slam and the old prediction machine. The Babes of Wrath defend the women's tag team championships. That's Willow and Harley against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. The match we thought we'd get, we never got.
I think. Go ahead, Rob.
I think the what do they call them? Bainolope or something. I think Bainolope wins.
Bainolope.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bayne and Penelope Ford. I do think that apparently the Iconics are going to AEW, so I imagine they're going to come out after the match. Not sure how they're going to fit in the AEW, but
I think really
cool. Very cool. All right, yeah, I'm going back and forth on this just because you guys both picked Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, and I predicted a title change in the previous match. I'm going to take the champions to retain, Willow and Harley, though I don't think it makes any sense. In the main event, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, your AEW World Champion, defends the title against Brody King.
I want to see how bad MJF cheats to win this. He's going to win, but I have a feeling he's going to try to kick him in the nuts, and Brody's just going to no-sell that shit. Like, it's going to be funny because, like, he's going to try to cheat, use his ring, and Brody King's just going to shrug everything off until MJF brings out, like, a sledgehammer or, you know, a saw.
Like, Brody just has heavy fupa in front of his balls.
That I feel like he's gonna try to give a low blow and Brody's just gonna like laugh at him. Like, I don't know. You're gonna keep Brody as a monster, and MJF's gonna come out with a win somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not trying to get into this, nor do I think any of us want to. There is a case with the notoriety that Brody King got to keep pushing this guy. I don't think it's going to happen. I do not see that. I think that MJF will retain the title. I don't think that would be a reason to make him the champion, but keep him strong. It is fresh. It's nice seeing another guy in the match, in the picture. I wouldn't make him look bad. And I think Max retains.
Yeah. My prediction here, and I think a more likely scenario, MJF wins. That's 100% guarantee it. If I had an all-in token, I'd push it on MJF to win this match. I think a more likely scenario than Brody King winning this match is that MJF does the exact same thing that he just did to Bandito, where he said, actually, you are a threat to me, so I'm going to kick your ass after the match while you're down. And we get the return of Buddy Matthews. It's in Australia. And Brody King and Buddy Matthews get back into the tag team division. That is, I think, the most likely scenario for this, because Brody King, it's very interesting about Brody King, because he is somebody that I should like. He's somebody I should be into. He's a big, meaty guy, tons of tats, liberal as hell. But I can't stand him. I don't like him. I don't think he's a good wrestler. I don't find him entertaining. I think he's a big, giant beta bitch boy. Buddy Matthews is terrific. I think it'll be a good pick-me-up for the crowd on the way out in Australia, because that's where he's from. And I think that's the most likely scenario for this show to conclude.
I do think it is possible, if they go with Andrade, that they may not totally believe in Andrade one-on-one with Max, and they could do some sort of bullshit to get Brody King in that match.
Crickets.
I was gonna respond to you, but Bob said that, and I'm trying to spin it that I don't like that scenario though whatsoever. Andrade's been hot. Andrade can wrestle. A match between Andrade and MJF is fire. So I'm okay. I have that as a singles match. I'll say this,
Matthews
even if it's not much better.
Yeah, and I agree. I would have it be Andrade and MJF, but if there were, I guess, more along the lines of, if maybe not as much Andrade as much as a heel versus heel, if Andrade is going to be a heel, that Brody King would split that up. So I don't think it's totally out of left field, but I would prefer the MJF versus Andrade as well.
Yeah.
Well, that is the most likely scenario, I'm sure. Football is over, and baseball hasn't started yet, and my basketball team sucks. Rob's barely watches basketball, and I mean, Bob, your basketball team also not great. So wrestling is what we have right now. So I hope they deliver us some good wrestling shows starting out this weekend with Grand Slam on Saturday night. We'll enjoy that, and we'll be back next week to talk about it, as well as the continued build to the Elimination Chamber. Should probably have some more clarity on the field. And until then, enjoy your wrestling.
Bob brought a